Is our identity for sale? While we wait months in line for our passports, reports show that some of the world's most wanted men are on a silver platter. Today, we look at the diplomatic lies that are costing us our tea exports and our global reputation.
Sudan's army-backed government has vowed to take escalatory actions against Kenya for hosting activities by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or the RSF.
Let us begin tonight with a leaked internal document from the Directorate of Immigration Services revealing a shocking trend by President William Ruto's administration to dish out Kenyan passports to foreign individuals for what can only be perceived as private and personal purposes. From a high-profile Zimbabwean entrepreneur to high-ranking figures from the Sudan rebel Rapid Support Forces, the list of questionable issuing of Kenyan passports is growing long. Political activist and presidential aspirant Boniface Mwangi blew the whistle today, posting on social media the alleged leaked document packed with a list of foreigners who are now Kenyan passport holders.
In early 2026, a leak from the Directorate of Immigration confirmed our worst fears. Algoney Hamdan Dagalo, the procurement chief for Sudan's RSF, a group accused of horrific war crimes, was found to be a Kenyan passport holder. But he's not alone. The list includes names tied to global sanctions and shady billionaires like Zimbabwe's Wicknell Chivayo. Why does this matter? Because a Kenyan passport isn't just a booklet, it's our sovereignty. When we give it to warlords, we aren't just mediating peace, we are providing a getaway car for international criminals.
You also, now as you speak, Kenya is to host that meeting with France, and many African leaders have called out the president, including Ramaphosa, because you look at what the Sahel is doing in injecting France, and Kenya has actually been called as a traitor based off what the rest of the continent is saying about the French government.
The government calls this diplomatic engagement, but the world calls it a lie. Sudan has already reacted, recalling their ambassador, and, most painfully for us, banning Kenyan tea. Our farmers are paying the price for State House's secret friendships. Even our neighbours are tired. In May 2026, we saw President Samia Suluhu publicly distance herself from Ruto's claims about joint projects. When you build a foreign policy on ghost projects and secret deals with warlords, you don't get respect, you get isolated.
Limbana Ruto, kaambia umekwenda kutangaza refinery Tanga, mbona mimi sijui? Asa atasema mwenyewe pale kwa nini katangaza.
But the embarrassment of the Kenyan nation yesterday in Tanzania is very painful. William Ruto has launched fake projects here in Kenya. He keeps announcing projects that do not exist. The man has become so bold that he is now announcing non-existent projects in a neighboring country. You know, it's so embarrassing to our country that a president from Kenya goes to Tanzania to announce that there will be a project in Tanga for oil refinery when the president of the country is not even aware of such a project. You know, it's a kind of insolence, impunity. You know, he has lied to Kenyans so much that he has no qualms about going to lie to the people of Tanzania. How do you go to a neighboring country to announce a project that is non-existent? And even the president of that country is complaining. At least Mama Suluhu, she is a very bad dictator who has blood on her hands. And we are happy that the International Criminal Court is slowly cornering her. But at least, despite being a brutal dictator, she had the decency to say, no, this is too much of a lie. You know? She's a terrible dictator, but at least she has some kind of conscience that it is wrong for a country, for a president from a different country to come and announce a non-existent project. So that's the kind of indignity that we continue to suffer as a country. But the beautiful part of it is that it's only for a time.
Enter Rigathi Gachagua. The man who knows where the bodies are buried is now singing. Gachagua has gone on the offensive, calling for international sanctions against top government officials for hosting war criminals. Whether you like him or not, his message is hitting home. He is framing this not just as a political fight, but as a betrayal of the Kenyan people. He's asking, how can we be a country of law and order when we are the headquarters for those fleeing it? The rift between him and Ruto isn't just local politics anymore. It's a battle for Kenya's global soul.
And we asking, much as this brother of Hemeti has been identified for sanctions by the US and other world bodies, I am of the opinion that the international community need actually to apply these sanctions to the real commanders of RSF, that is William Ruto, and senior officials of his government, because that's where the problem is. If we were not helping Hemeti and RSF to market their gold through Kenya to the to the Middle East, they will not be having the capacity to purchase arms and ammunition for continuing with the war in Sudan.
The government's defense? A simple denial. They say the documents are fake. They say they are mediating. But the US sanction lists don't lie. And the empty tea warehouses in Kericho don't lie. Every time a sanctioned criminal travels on a Kenyan passport, your own travel becomes harder. Your visa applications get scrutinized. Your country's name gets dragged through the mud. We are trading our reputation for short-term diplomatic favors. Kenya used to be the island of peace and the gateway to East Africa. In 2026, are we becoming the launderer of warlords? From the RSF to the ghost projects with Suluhu, the mountain of lies is getting too
Kenya
high
is a great democratic country. We are the only place in East and Central Africa where people can come and meet freely from every part of the world. And the meeting that was there in Kenya was a meeting of the civil society, meeting of church groups, meeting of Muslim leaders, meeting of women. And they were having a conversation about their country in Sudan. Such meetings have been held in Tripoli, such meetings have been held in Addis.
But there are also allegations that you're involved in getting arms to the RSF. The Sudanese army says you're involved with the UAE and you're shipping arms to them.
That is absolutely false. I can tell you for a fact that Kenya being a democratic country, we're often accused. DRC accused us, or you were in, there were people meeting in Nairobi. There are people meeting in Nairobi. Sometimes I don't even know they are meeting in Nairobi because we are a free and democratic country. And to Sudan, I hold the position that both RSF and SAF are cut from the same cloth. They are a product of an overthrow of a people's government. And therefore, you cannot say anything different between SAF and RSF. And by the way, my position is that these two generals have no solution for Sudan because both of them believe in solving a problem using military means, which is not a security problem. This is a governance